Welcome to this video series for skilled nursing facilities. We will be discussing the MDS, which is the minimum data set that is required for submission to CMS on a regular basis for every resident. If you need more information than this short video can provide, please go to the www.cms.gov website for the most recent RAI manual. There are many reasons to file a transfer or a discharge assessment in MDS. Today, we will be discussing what happens when you do not expect to see the resident return to your facility. In other words, in your clinical judgment, the return is not anticipated. Most transfers and discharges are for medical reasons, emergent or pre-planned. And either kind can be with return anticipated or with return not anticipated. So let's think of it like a grid. Today's video will concentrate on the squares on the right-hand side. We will start with the upper right square, emergency visit with return not anticipated. This is for someone with a fall or an infection, or an urgent ambulance type situation whom you suspect from the family reaction will not be returning to your facility. It may well be that they expect the resident to be released from the hospital, but the family intends to permanently place the resident elsewhere when it comes to that point. Or perhaps the resident is going to the emergency room, and sadly you anticipate that will be their last visit. Coding for this discharge will look like this. A0310F equals 10, discharge with return not anticipated. A0310G equals 2, unplanned. Remember, section GG, SNF Part A discharge is never needed on an emergent discharge. This is true even if you were preparing to do the discharge anyway, but it just so happened that the ambulance was called. Even if you had a knockout and you knew what the resident's discharge plans were, as long as the resident stays 24 hours and qualifies for a discharge in the first place, this would be a live emergency room transport and an unplanned transfer to an inpatient facility. Keep in touch with the family to decide how to answer A2100 discharge status. Another situation that belongs in this quadrant is a death in facility. Even if an ambulance ride was not involved, it is still an unplanned event with no return anticipated, even if the resident was on hospice. If the resident took the ambulance ride but was called dead on arrival at the hospital, it becomes a death in facility. The MDS coding in this case is A310F equals 12, death in facility. A310G equals unplanned. A2000 is the discharge date, is the date the feet left your door. Now let's look at the bottom right quadrant, planned discharge with return not anticipated. This is for someone who met their clinical and or therapy goals. Everyone is happy that they're going home. Or perhaps it is someone choosing to leave either with or without medical advice. Sometimes the Part A eligibility runs out and they decide to go home. Or sometimes they select hospice and choose to go home. Not quite the same celebration. The implications of a discharge in this square are similar to the above. A310F equals 10, discharge with return not anticipated. A310G equals 1, planned. And A2100 equals 01 to the community. Most likely the resident is done using their Medicare Part A days. So A310H equals 1, yes. It is a SNF Part A discharge, and A2400C equals the applicable date. Remember, if you are correct and they do not return, no further discharge or records are needed. However, if a resident has been sent out with A310F equals 10, discharge with return not anticipated, and they do return, even after just a few days away, your next submissions will be an entry tracking, not a reentry, and a full-on comprehensive OBRA assessment, A0310A equals 01. Even if you know them from a long time back, this is officially a new resident for MDS purposes, with a comprehensive assessment due, using your new eyes to see them as they now are. Thank you for watching this video on MDS. As always, if you need further information, please go to www.cms.gov for the most recent REI manual. That's your best information. Another good source of information is your state coordinator. There is a list of your MDS coordinators in Appendix B of the REI manual. Thank you for your time.